from Savannah, Georgia, the Vice President of our Savannah chapter, none other than Hal Harleyman Jenkins. Please stand. Give him a big hand. Now, what I'm going to do is ask the entire Indiana chapter to stand. President Terrence Williams, Indiana, would you please stand? I'm pretty sure we got some more Indiana folks coming. Late President 𝒥𝑜𝒽𝓃𝓈𝑜𝓃 and his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, we ride all types of motorcycles, mostly Harleys. But I tell you, we have a representative, or shall we say several representatives here from 𝒥𝑜𝒽𝓃 Harley-Davidson. And I'd like to tell you that they have embraced us from day one, and we are honored that some of them could attend this affair. Jason and your contingent, would you please stand? Please give them a big hand. 𝒥𝑜𝒽𝓃 Harley-Davidson.
These black airmen were dedicated and determined to become America's first black military airmen at a time where many people thought that black men lacked intelligence, skill, courage, and patriotism. Through World War II, 992 pilots graduated at Tuskegee Army Airfield, receiving commissions and pilot wings. Some of the men were navigators, bombardiers, and gunnery crews. After World War II, some of the black airmen elected to remain in the service, but because of segregation, their assignments were limited. Nevertheless, the black airmen continued to perform superbly. In 1947, President Truman enacted the Executive Order number 9981, which directed equality of treatment and opportunity in all the United States Armed Forces. This order in time led to the end of racial segregation in the military forces. This was also the first step toward racial integration in the United States of America. This positive experience, the outstanding record of accomplishment, and the superb war record of black airmen during World War II and after were important factors in the initiation of the historic social changes to achieve racial equality in America. What we like to do tonight is we like to present a special recognition award to the Tuskegee Airmen, the Chicago chapter. We are very fortunate to have 4 of the original Tuskegee Airmen. And as I say their names, we'd like for you as a group to stand up. We have Mr. Dan Williamson, an original Tuskegee Airman. Beverly Dungill,
Ladies and gentlemen,
accepting a special recognition award is Mr. Melvin E. Kanazi Sr., referred to as a new generation Tuskegee Airman, who is also a military veteran and, may I say, a 26-year Navy veteran. Please give it up for Mr. Kanazi.
First fireman there for a moment. I thought he was going to steal my show by introducing Dan Williamson, telling us all that he's 93 years old. And that's when I stood up, because he was treading on my territory. Okay. African-American men and women, they're not just to get in aviation with the Tuskegee Airmen. African-American men and women were flying during the 20s and the 30s, and from there on. Dan Williamson, our senior statesperson there, Dan, was one of those African-American pioneer aviators that I'm referring to. Dan was flying in the 30s and had his own airplane in the 40s. Each of these men have their own stories. You remember that story of what the Naked City? There were 1 million stories in the Naked City, and this is just one of them. Dan Williamson was a trailblazer in his day. He went out and bought a motorcycle. And his mother told him, boy, you're going to kill yourself on that motorcycle. What did Dan Williamson do? He begged and scraped and appealed to his family, and they brought Dan an airplane. So that's one of our pioneer aviators, Mr. Dan Williamson, 93 years old. And a golfer. He can show you a thing or two about his brother. Dan? Okay. Now we have another one here. He is the president of our chapter. We refer to him as Beverly Dungill. And Mr. Dungill, I'm saying he's the youngest of the Tuskegee Airmen. Ladies, when Beverly Dungill strapped on his F-86 Sabre jet during the Korean War, he had all kind of long hair. We refer to Beverly Dungill as the Clark Gable of the Tuskegee Airmen. There may be a photograph or two of him out there holding his flight helmet with a lucky strike in the other hand and getting ready to strap on his F-86 Sabre jet. Mr. Dungill flew over 100 missions over North Korea during that conflict. 100 missions. Ride handlebars on his motorcycle. Look at me trying to look all different. That's Mr. Jack Lyle. Flew over 23 missions. Mr. Jack Lyle today is an avid sailor. And I know in my young days as a sailor, when I go out to sea, I be praying for good weather. Jack Lyle gets out there on Lake Michigan and prays for bad weather. Jack Lyle will be 85 years young. And today, Mr. Jack Lyle, we're glad to have you along. Mr. Williams, he slowed down a little bit, but he was an avid golfer. Him and Dan meet every Wednesday to have breakfast. He was part of the bomber crew out there with the Tuskegee Airmen. And we refer to this as the Tuskegee Airmen. For ladies, you have a very intricate part in this Tuskegee Airmen experience. There were over 15,000 men and women from across the United States. The top was, they were determined to make an experiment designed to fail. Designed to fail. But how do you tell college-educated men that you can't fly, and I'm gonna fail you? They telling Dan he can't fly in 1940 and he was flying in the 30s. Dan was a flight instructor at Tuskegee. And we like to make special recognition of the fact that these men were part of a force that made change in America. If this experiment had failed, and if you read some of the documents that are made for public viewing now, they had some programs for us black folks. Now we like to say, who said black men can't fly? Over 15,000 sorties, 1,500 missions. And all of those 1,500 missions, they escorted bombers over the heart of Germany. Escorted bombers into Europe, all over Europe. They have the unique distinction of having never lost not one bomber to enemy fighters that were under their attack. No, there were no aces, because General Davis, Colonel Davis, their job was to protect the bombers, not to stray off and go on some glory-seeking mission, leaving a bomber unprotected. Say, for instance, 100 bombers were sent out. There was a period that a third of those bombers never reached their target. Why? Because there were undisciplined pilots going on glory-seeking missions. To shoot down one German fighter, you left a B-17 or B-25 unprotected. And they're reaching out to today's youth. The Tuskegee Airmen, in conjunction with the Young Eagles program, sponsored free airplane rides and an introduction to aviation to our young people, ages 7 to 17. And they get a chance to listen to me talk. As you can see, I can sometimes on how airplanes fly. And I don't use that technical language, don't allude to physics or any of that type of stuff, because it's a very simple principle on how airplanes fly. But I know in the day they made it very complicated for us. And as some of you can recall, I'm skipping around a little bit, getting back to the Tuskegee Airmen and early aviation, they were the War Department's best kept secret. I remember, and I can see some of you can also remember this program on television. The name of the airplane was Songbird. But what was the name of the program? I see somebody shaking their head. And the little girl name was Penny. Oh, yeah. Come on, tell me.
Let's do